Is this thing on?
Hold on, let me look. Yes.
All right, let's do the intro. This video is brought to you by Liquid IV. We're going to talk more on them after the reaction because I just took one and I feel hydrated right now. Guys, we got ourselves X-Men episode 9. I can't wait to watch this. Coy, how are you feeling?
Concerned we're penultimate. You thought it was done at 7.
I thought
so
it was
just
done.
happy.
I was
These
like,
are all
there's
bonuses.
more. These are bonus special episodes.
And I've been dreading the day.
Guys, what did you think about this episode? Is it getting you excited for the finale? Leave down in the comments right now. How do you think this season will end? And while you're there, please go ahead and leave a like. It helps out the video more than you probably realize. Also subscribe and click that notification bell. I see that about a little over 50% of you who watch are actually not subscribed. Let's try to increase that number to a minimum 50%. Teamwork, Reject Nation.
We're here for you.
Prepper, thank you for helping us look good. And fully through action watch along with your own copy of X-Men 97. That is available for our super sexy rejects over at our Patreon page. Thank you so much for all been joining. That page has been growing phenomenally. And of course, we cover several things over there exclusively with highlights and watch-alongs included. Last but not least, the thing I've been so happy to see growing phenomenally. Everyone who have been buying themselves some Reject Nation shop material. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a way for all of us to feel like we are one. We wear the apparel. You wear the apparel. You are one of the citizens. You are more than citizens. You are political leaders in the Reject Nation. Yes. When you rock the attire.
And if we see you in public, we will hug you and ask for photos with you.
And you will cancel us for touching you inappropriately.
And we're sorry in advance, but the shirt was so soft.
It's worth it. All right, Coy, ready?
That was great. Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, here we go. What's new?
All right, the weekly episode of What's New.
We got a flood of copyright claims on this song for all of our videos last week. So you might not hear it, but we will still feature whatever we find that is new.
So the song was like, no, but the visuals, we got this. I'm curious if Xavier's back in the intro, right?
He was in the intro last week.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because
Storm's back.
Yeah, it's due. In the new suit.
Dread. Outside the walls. To me, my bedroom.
Oh, wait, he can walk now, right?
No, he needs a suit to walk.
Oh, that's right. I somehow forgot from last week.
Back to beat on opposing sides.
Yep, full costumes back. Whoa.
That's some Robert Kirkman shit right there.
Very much so. And some shades of Vision.
He's weeping over his mom. Are they going to go to the fence shot? Oh, I thought they were going to go to the fence shot.
Oh, I think they are.
I guess not. Okay. I am happy we got the classic suit back, though.
Yeah, it looks great.
It's also symbolic of his return.
Of his, yeah, who he is.
There's
In the outfit, this music's fantastic.
Wow, puts her in the bed with the portrait above.
It's finally quiet, Mother.
Man. They look great.
That's right. From rain to tears.
Could have put Forge in the intro.
Yeah, that's true.
Magneto, sir? Really? What did you expect was going to happen when you tossed him to school?
I wanted you two to be free.
Kind of helped save the day, you know?
I wanted to spare you the weight of your loyalty to me. Both of you have done everything I have asked since you were teenagers.
I like how he's got a blanket to cover his legs.
Cozy.
He's nude under there.
Little Charles just saying.
No matter what, I'll always end up here.
That was my fear. From the moment I first met you, that you would help build a world where mutants could live however they wish.
Cyclops has a self-fulfilling prophecy issue.
Perhaps that was a mistake, because just like you, I'm right back here.
That's why he needs Xavier, because he knows how to find the beauty in the perception.
I also feel like he can rebel against Xavier in a unique way. Like the father-son dynamic helps him be free.
How do you feel?
I feel like I've been run over by a hay baler fixed with a jet engine.
Yes.
That old expression.
Much has happened, Fräulein. Trask survived, and so did...
Remy?
No, no, speak faster, Kurt.
Don't pause there.
Oh, shucks. We missed the hoedown.
Roro, you're back.
Oh, that's sweet.
Wish it were under better circumstances.
Your augmented prosthetics remain functional despite Magneto's blackout.
This whole thing rigged together an electrostatic deflector ages ago.
I was thinking just that.
I was distracted by this.
What happened?
I know. We're actually relocating to the old base on Muir Island for gear and supplies.
Okay.
If it is this horrible here, how bad is it out there?
Thousands are feared dead. All First World infrastructures are in ruin.
I like it's all Polaroids.
97.
Magneto's thrown the entire planet back centuries.
I can feel the Earth's magnetic field dying even now.
That's terrifying.
Find Magneto and convince him to reverse the damage to Earth before it becomes permanent.
The man just declared war on the whole planet. His day ends one way.
If you must punish someone for today, then start with me.
It's crazy to see them all in one room again.
Do not make Magnus pay for my designs.
That's a real leader taking responsibility.
You're going with me and Blue Team to find Magneto. Storm and Jean will lead Gold Team to shut down Bastion at his headquarters in the Galapagos Islands.
Oh, Blue and Gold Team! With the right team leaders.
Or eliminate his control over them.
Learning how to safely remove Sentinel nanotech will take years, but Forge and I believe we can restore the Prime Sentinel's innate humanity.
What about the ones Wolverine killed?
These guys hated us before Bastion drafted him into his killer robot army. We don't even know how many are out there.
Well, he's got a suit.
Yeah, he's like a team.
The Prime Sentinels are controlled by a central command server. Alas, I was unable to find it before the blackout.
Bastion is the command server. The boy could communicate with machines. Cerebro had detected him, so I assumed he was a mutant. His mother slammed the door when she heard the word.
Oh, there was an opportunity to stop him.
Yeah, to help him.
Once Bastion is no longer a threat, I believe Magnus will be open to turning the power back on.
Well, didn't you also believe it was a good idea to hand the bad guy your school?
He's not wrong.
Blame game is over, people. The world ends in less than 12 hours.
And the show's only 28 minutes long.
And we've only got one more after this.
I thought more people would be ecstatic about Storm having her powers back.
Yeah. Welcome back, it's nice. There's all this stuff going on.
Mnemonic Scrambler shut down Jean's powers when she was the Dark Phoenix.
So we calibrate the Scrambler to Bastion's frequency and sever his hold over the Primes.
We may be able to do more than just that.
Get Spider-Man?
That's what Bastion wants.
We can use neutralizer technology to permanently disable his control of Prime.
I said the plot out loud. Oh no. I was going to say that is what happened to her.
Part of me wonders if Gambit should have been buried here, on our grounds.
I think they do the shadows so well.
Yeah. Her OG outfit is awesome. That's cool to see.
Remy was the most Cajun man I ever met. He knew our lives are about what bits of us we leave behind and what we carry into the future.
The writing, just zingers.
I'm so sorry, Rogue. And despite the power of words, nothing spoken can heal this pain.
Ready for some innate action.
Incredible. The
awesome.
northern lights, the magnetic fields.
Got chills.
Be reasonable.
I am not the one who needs to be reasoned with.
There is a large asteroid hovering over my home that begs otherwise.
When you abandoned us for your Shia bird queen, you bequeathed it to me, asked me to walk your path. Are you prepared to walk mine?
Your path leads to total destruction for both humans and mutants.
God, they're right back to where they were.
Yep, nothing's changed.
We have a plan to stop Bastion, but we must also repair Earth.
I promised a boy a future free of fear, only to watch his frightened eyes be vaporized inside his tiny skull.
Yikes.
How many more of your bones will pave the way to Xavier's future?
Wow.
Where we simper like beggars for tolerance. Your professor's dream is dead, so I offer a new one. A home to replace what they stole from us.
Be hard not to side with Magneto at this time.
It's got a lot right. Asteroid M's calling.
We are left with but two choices. Cling to this dying world, or rise to your future and look down upon this fallen pigsty planet.
God, he's a great visual communicator.
Yep. The presentation.
Gods abandon those who believe in them. Mutants do
God's
not
abandoned those blue mutants do
decide
not. God damn.
my X-Men.
Decide my X-Men.
He's literally putting them on two sides.
But to me, decide my.
To lead our kind to a new age. I stand by that choice.
Do not turn your back on family.
None of you were there the day Genosha fell. Who dies next, Professor? Jean? Been there, done that.
Oh my god.
Who knows where Bishop is? And hell, Morph was barely on the team 30 minutes before we tossed them to the wolves.
Said them. Nice.
People are mad now.
Any more mutants die.
Oh no.
Roberto.
My mom handed me over to the Prime Sentinels, Jubilee.
Everyone's acting on their arc very accurately.
The offer was made. The door is open.
It makes sense why those characters would go with
That's,
him.
I mean, like, the arcs are landing right where you'd naturally expect them to go.
Moira!
Are we getting... Oh, you're right. That's more likely. I thought we were going to get Banshee. I got really excited. Scotland makes more sense than Ireland. Hey, classic suits!
Asteroid M, just when we started.
The brown Wolverine suit. I saw it.
If I had it my way, I'd be on Isla Mirada with you and Jean instead of space. But she's...
Not my mother.
It's confusing to me too, you know. But what I know for certain is that they're two of the strongest people I've ever known. Trust her. And... Son.
Be careful.
No. Give him hell.
Oh, hey.
Thanks, Dad.
Almost forgot.
He's gonna get a suit.
Yes.
Am I going to war or a circus?
What'd you expect? Black leather?
Yeah, the callback.
That's great.
24 years in the making. Yes. Everything led to this.
That is clever.
You left your legacy to a lunatic.
Merely a man trying to survive in a world that has proven his worst fears true, time and again, in under an
There's
hour.
brown suit, yeah.
That looks great.
As we know it ends.
Oh,
yeah,
he's
he's gonna hit it. I was wondering because Jubilee got a new suit last week. I'm glad we're... Yes.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, like a legit new costumes. Classic
But
costumes.
it's new, but they're
New.
going to classics. That's cool.
We have been here
Symbolically
before,
showing
President
his
Kelly.
strength.
If you don't trust me, trust my X-Men.
That is awesome.
Oh, look at Marvel Girl. That's the first time they've seen good at all this whole season.
Yeah.
Was an actual moment of intimacy. Whoa.
They approach.
Whoa. That is intense.
Sentinels have never been more imposing.
It's just so cool.
I really love the weight you can feel of them this time, yeah.
Shouldn't Magneto's blackout have shut these things down?
Bastion must be powering their circuitry using his technopathy. Hang on!
I'm glad they're acknowledging potential plot holes for us, because that is a thing.
Forge and I will draw their focus in the air. The rest of you continue to the ground.
That's an army out there.
She can handle it.
I thought of you while away, of when my sister faced her darkness and emerged stronger. All this change, it's all the same. Let us do what we do.
I'd rather have this conversation.
Just in the sky as Sentinels chase.
Not in a dream or our gifts, but in each other.
Make them mind your weather, sister.
And them weather your mind.
Great back and forth.
That was beautiful. Weather your mind.
No, she's so cool, man. You guys got to watch Coy Storm X-Men video.
This is Storm. They get it.
The source of the frequency is coming from inside the volcano itself.
That helmet in the
Then
back.
that's where Bastion is.
Look at him in the proper outfit. Oh.
Try as you might, X-Men. You cannot stop me and my kind.
Whoa!
Yeah!
More smash! What a great way to get a cameo
Oh, and the
in.
music cue right up there.
That's so cool. Ah, he's smiling.
Let me lend you a hand, friend. Propose the question, what is the sound of one hand clapping?
Smack! A bitch slap.
I've waited for this moment. I know your genes.
Jeans.
weaknesses.
Coming up like a shadow in her soul.
I was wondering if Sinister would play offense. Whoa, that was dope.
Wow, amazing camera work. I think this is like Sinister's first full-blown fight scene they've done in the show.
In this season, yeah.
Only I know where you end and Madeline begins.
Oh, this poor woman.
If you ask nicely, I can tell you when I switched you.
Madeline fights with me today.
Nicely
done. Strike.
Strike.
Pull him down, Gene.
Love the electric guitar.
Look at that.
Chosen your side.
It's a throne.
Oh, good. We're skipping the blabber.
Oh, I'm worried about to happen. I'm worried.
Oh, damn.
Oh, the classic suits fighting. John Romita Jr. era X-Men fight.
Thousands are dead.
Thousands more died on Genosha. Whose lives matter more?
You sparkle your way.
Distract him with shiny.
I'm sorry, Jubes. You okay?
Oh, you don't want to mess with a scorn woman.
I said sorry.
I mean, he's a spoiled kid.
Do you want money?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It is the world that rules you.
Oh, how I've waited to say these two words to you, old friend.
What words? Shut up.
Shut up.
His helmet. I must hijack his powers to repair Earth.
What about the Prime Sentinels?
There is no time. We must trust Gold Team to neutralize Bastion.
I don't know how they speak so eloquently in times of chaos, you know?
Training.
It's just amazing. Their communication is impeccable.
Oh, and he can sense it.
Know your role, mutant. A snake like Sinister would never risk his life for another.
But this one would. They're not going to kill off Beast, are they?
That was cool.
God damn it.
They're getting whooped.
Save his ass.
Oh.
I have studied you, Gene. Dissected you.
Then face me.
The way he preys on her is so awful.
Look who's here, my writhing thing of chance.
What?
Nathan, stop, please.
Is controlling him?
Oh, I don't know why or how. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
he is. I didn't see the diamond at first.
My real mother was a world-class telekinetic, just like you. Stuff tends not to skip a generation.
Oh, damn. Reveals.
Whoa.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. No. Ooh, that is a hard choice.
Oh, wow.
Scott, I love you.
Nathan. Did they just... No. Did they...
I don't think. They're about to...
We got the helmet, though. Okay.
You've left me no choice, Magnus.
It's the first time in the show he's had to do that, I think.
Yeah, and Scott is seeing...
I'm sorry, sir. Gold Team still needs more time.
Shit.
Oh.
Oh, whoa.
It's gonna still shield his psychic abilities, right? Like...
Now you have finally found the metal to do what is necessary. You are a traitor to your race.
Oh, that is clever wordplay. Metal.
No. Are we? Oh my God.
Oh, they.
Did they really?
Been in a lot of wars, bub. The brave always die first.
Holy shit.
Finally, this feud is over.
Oh, he's taking his adamantium out. He's gonna do it. It's happening. Oh, no. Dude, fatal attractions.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Through his pores, it's coming out. Oh!
What the hell? They actually did
They
that.
did it. They did the thing.
That was a gnarly ending. Holy
The freeze frame
shit.
with the adamantium just spilling out of him.
Oh, dude. That was so gory for what this is. Damn.
Man. Are we getting feral?
That was just like a straight up, like, 1, 2, 3 punch from Jean to Magneto. Dude, do you have the vid again? What's going on here? What's going on here?
I had the ear
Sick
infection
bastard.
went in my throat, and now I got a raw throat.
Ear infection.
I'm dying, Greg.
Well, straighten up. No, Ross Marquand voices Professor X. I put that together. Dang, man.
That was incredible. That was so...
There is so much to discuss and dissect. Cannot wait to go into all of it with you guys. Sincerely, there's a lot to talk about. We've got to absorb this.
Adamantium.
But, you know, a great way to absorb this is to first get hydrated. Reject Nation, I am here to talk to you today about something that I value very much, and I hope you will learn to value it too. And if you already do, then I got an amazing recommendation for all of you. Now, many of you guys have been so kind to notice that Sir Gregory over here has been getting in a little bit of a better shape as of late in the past year or so. I mean, I'm just looking at everybody loves the guy who flexes on camera. No one finds that annoying or like they're trying to get attention. I'm only doing it to make a point that I've been taking health and fitness quite serious, mainly because I really like to feel more energetic in a more natural way, helps me focus. I just feel better overall. And one thing I've really noticed that is very, very important to me is proper hydration. Sometimes you might just casually see me sipping on one of these, no big deal. But sometimes I don't want to just like fill my body up with so much water before getting on camera and getting some of that water bloat or whatever that might occur. And it's also important to get electrolytes after sweating a bunch, because if there's one thing I notice is that after I exercise, do I feel a high from it? Absolutely. But if I don't replenish my body properly afterwards, I slowly get drained. I feel more foggy-minded. I feel more fatigued. And that's why this is something I've already been using, and I am so happy to be partnered with them. It is Liquid IV. I've only got 3 packets left. I need to order more. And what's so great about it is that after using these, I always feel way more refreshed. I feel like I feel more focused. Sometimes I might get a little bit of a head pain. It helps relieve a lot of that. And it's more than just working out. Sometimes you might just be really tired or have an exhaustive day. Like, for example, sometimes we're working all day and then we got to shoot a show at midnight or something like that. And I need energy. I need to be alive on camera. And I usually take a hydration formula, and Liquid IV is a very, very reliable one. So while drinking water is, of course, very important, Liquid IV can provide the same hydration as drinking 2 to 3 bottles of water. That's like efficient. They're, of course, packed with a lot of essential vitamins. They're vegan, soy-free, gluten-free, dairy-free. You can customize the water amount to your taste. They have a lot of options, and the reason I love this one is because throughout the week, I usually have a no sugar added diet, and this one right here, it's sugar-free, so it's perfect for me. So yes, it's great for post-night recovery, traveling, maybe having a big night out after, So if you want to improve your endurance, you want to improve your overall well-being, you want to be hydrated, it is extremely important to vitality. So to boost your hydration and also boost support for the channel, would love to stay sponsored with these guys. Considering that we do use these products and we really vouch for them and really do think you would benefit from them, you can go to liquidiv.com and use promo code REJECTS. Once again, that's liquidiv.com, promo code REJECTS. Remember, it's not a real IV, but it sure feels like it. That's comedy gold. Well, I really loved actually shooting that Liquid IV ad because I didn't have to use a script for that at all. I got to talk from the heart. It was great.
I already buy Liquid IV, like actually.
That's what I mean.
Use Liquid IV.
It's so much more. I do love them because I actually use Liquid IV regularly. So yeah, And another thing I use regularly are these shirts. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Super Marvel Bros.
This guy had a big day today.
He had a huge day
in this episode.
He had a huge
big day.
Oh, speaking of Wolverine, Coy, in my journey of learning how to fall asleep.
Oh.
I was
Hugh Jackman read you a story.
You called Hugh back. I might.
Rockabye baby, mate. Tuck yourself in there. Shrimp on the barbie, etc.
He said Australian phrases the entire time.
This is like last week, but way earlier. Remember last week's review? We got halfway and lost our minds right at the top, right as we get into it.
So there's this video of people reacting to Quirky Quota to Walking Dead right now. It's really distracting.
Yep, guys, this is going very well.
Stop looking
Prepper
at this.
and any editors are like, what is happening?
So, speaking of Prepper, I need to tell them that the footage will get to you guys in 9 minutes. I couldn't sleep, and I was like, you know what? I've never read Old Man Logan. I'm gonna
oh, dude,
I'm gonna start reading Old Man Logan.
Steve McNiven art is gorgeous.
And then it reached like 3 in the morning, and then I was reading Old Man Logan, and
do not recommend it for sleep.
Finished the whole thing.
Too good.
It was a really great comic, and to watch something that went like so violent, as well, was enjoyable, and then to get like a hint of gritty violence in this Disney Plus show
reminded you of like where Wolverine can go.
It was cool to actually witness that. Yeah,
that's a good required reading before Deadpool and Wolverine, by the way. That book, you may recognize some set pieces from the trailer.
It was on my list because of that. So I was like, you know what? I'll just knock it out. And then it was such a gripping graphic novel series.
Don't read this before going to bed, and don't watch X-Men 97 before going to bed because you will not sleep.
But this episode, I'm trying to be cool and like text at the same time, which I don't recommend doing because I can only focus on one thing at a time. So this episode was another banger.
Yes.
I absolutely loved it because this divide that is happening with them, dealing with like philosophies and ideologies and watching like the beautiful poetry, like this symphony that this team has orchestrated here is so impressive because I know a lot of people have gone into this show. Most people are not from the Coy perspective of like, I've read every comic so I can easily keep up with this. But a lot of people haven't even seen the original animated series or have seen it and don't remember what happened in it. And as someone who did watch the original animated series, it's so cool to go back to see how it's dovetailing into it in a way where, oh, wow, Xavier left Earth. Magneto then took up the mantle in honor of Xavier, and I'm going to try to walk the Xavier path. Day one of going, screw this path, Xavier returns, and they're right back to where they were, talking at a distance where he's hovering over him and he's looking up and Magnus, no, don't do that. And Charles, you're wrong.
61 years of comics, right back into the cycle.
61 years of comics.
Toxic relationships, they're cyclical.
But then seeing how the sides have formed with them, is really great writing because it makes sense why character Sunspot is this dude.
Yes, Sunspot.
Goddamn it.
Like the one character I do not want to like.
Sunspot and Rogue siding with Magneto on this side of coming from a place of grief. And so much of these characters has been dealing with their emotional process and how they respond to hardship. We just watched what Storm went through and how she dealt with hardship and the path she chose to do with facing that darkness. And this is another version of them facing their darkness, and it's justified through external circumstances and such. So I think it's really beautiful. It's like beautifully written, like the elegancy of the dialogue throughout. Man, I was so wowed. I didn't touch the ending at all for you.
The moment I got to acknowledge before I get to the ending, well, it's in the ending, but the line of dialogue where Magneto says, like, you've gotten your metal, but he means M-E-T-L-E, but it's while he's covering him in metal.
It's like Eminem wordplay.
Yeah, that rhyme, that bars, Magneto, which you can bend.
How do they do that in the heat of the... I could never think that clear. I'd be like, screw you, asshole! Like, the way they talk so cleverly.
For days. That is the power. That's when you know you're a superhero, when you can quip and fight.
Oh, yeah.
This episode, I thought, was this beautiful kind of eye of the hurricane in the last arc, because the last episode was tons and tons of action, and obviously the story still evolved. This episode had to kind of like calm itself down, have a lot of tension build back up to dive into the other side of the hurricane. Like there was this beautiful calm that wasn't calm. It was still but not calm is what I should say. There's tension building and the storm is brewing and you feel all that, but there's moments of silence, there's moments of thoughtfulness, there's moments where emotions are exchanged, and then the other side of the hurricane is waiting for you at the end of the episode. So I really love the way these 3 episodes were structured so you get to feel that acceleration again, because I don't think it would have been sustainable to have 3 episodes that were all like episode 7 or 8. Like 8, 9, and 10 needed to have this, and now it's back to crazy. And I'm a little shocked that Wolverine, he's been kind of a team player this season, which I've enjoyed because I've talked at length about how Wolverine and the X-Men is not the format. Like, he's a team player. He's more of a background player. I love that they gave him that huge tornado whirlwind in the last episode. And then this one, that fight with Rogue is straight out of the comic, and it's an important fight because Rogue is wearing her villain outfit again, just like she was in the fight in the comic. And it's them at opposing odds right before this giant moment happens. So you get the heroics of Wolverine, and then you just see him lose. And this, in the comic books, changes Wolverine irreparably. He eventually gets his adamantium back, but he goes feral. He goes into the woods. He doesn't have a nose for a while in the comics. He's got like this sense of himself that he has to find himself again. He loses identity.
I feel like they can do a Wolverine show
and make everyone happy, all the Wolverine fans. And
well, it would be kind of a neat prospect for them to explore, of take this Wolverine specifically and do a show, because I love that idea of Wolverine losing his adamantium, because when he first got it, it was such a traumatic incident for the guy, and just adding on to more of his cursed nature.
Yeah.
But then it becomes an extension of him, and now to have that stripped away from him and having to sort of reform his identity from that. I find that really compelling storytelling.
I also think they did a really good job this episode with like kind of filling in plot holes. And then I think the biggest plot hole has always been like, why doesn't Magneto just pull out his enemy? And then the episode's like, we're going to do it in this episode. Yeah. Like, that's kind of the big, like, why hasn't that ever happened? And then in the comics it happened. And the way they handled it here, I thought was great.
I thought the way they handled it was so smart. Like, because he had some line there of like, this feud can finally end.
Yeah, do you think it's him dying? And it's like, no. He played the Uno reverse card. He's like, you think it's over?
Yeah.
It's over for you.
It's like he was waiting. Like, I'll do it if Wolverine decides to cross the line.
Right.
If he crosses the line, then I'm just going to do the ultimate power move.
Have you ever seen that meme of like, somebody called the hospital? Not for me. Like, that was the episode. Like, Magneto was like, it's not for me. Wolverine's going down.
This is a great game of tops throughout. Every time you think that our heroes might win, or I don't know what this is good writing, because
escalation.
I'm curious to see in the comments, like, who do you side with on this one? Because
Magneto was right.
I could totally see people siding with Magneto at the end of the day. And, it's easy to just go, well, obviously Xavier, because...
But even Xavier did some shit in this episode. Like, Xavier was like, I'm going to invade your mind and take you out, which is not what he stands for, but he was willing to.
The only beat that I thought this episode missed was the celebration of, like...
Storm,
you have your powers.
You got a cool new costume. You're back. But that sister beat was one of the best beats of the episode.
Great sister beat.
The weather your mind your weather line. God damn.
That's great.
There's some writing in this episode.
Some great writing. Oh, Cable being controlled and having to face this whole thing with...
And what happened to Jean, we don't know.
Because I like the complexity that Cable has. I can only fathom, like try to fathom what's running through the guy's mind. I feel
that's my mom, but not really. It's the clone of my mom, but it's actually my mom's the clone. That's the original of my mom, and that's my dad.
So don't connect with her because you might resent her. Or maybe my mom might have been around if this woman never came back.
And I resent my dad because he had to abandon me, but he had to. And
there's such a conflict with Cable that I find really interesting, and because that's the cool part about Sinister when he mind controls is he preys on a dark truth within us.
Yes, and he knows her more than anyone because he's been obsessed with their genes. Scott and Jean are his passion project. So I love that he's the one that's able to manipulate Jean because he would know how, and he is the one that's already conquered her abilities because he's cloned her. Like he's been able to take her out at some point that level that she doesn't even know it.
He talks to her. The dialogue they choose is very carefully crafted to where he speaks to her like he's an assault victim. That she's an assault victim.
Oh yeah, I'm like he's the assaulter.
Yeah. It's really like so sinister the way he speaks about her.
I think he's going to be the first villain in the live actions. I think that they've been setting that up for a long time. We've never seen him in live action, and I think it's smart to do someone. You're introducing these X genes have a genetic manipulator. You know what I mean? Like it's a good starter villain for the story. I think they'll tell.
Yeah.
And I think this episode really shows the strength of him. He's a fascinating cinematic villain. If you cast someone really charming, I also really like in this episode that Nightcrawler. when Rogue woke up, there was that brother-sister moment, and I really think that we've seen a great arc of Nightcrawler, considering he's in like 2 episodes of the first show.
yeah.
He's gotten a lot to do here, and he's kept crushing it.
When he's on screen, they count. And I feel like that's what this show's been doing really well.
That's the X-Men when they're a team. Like, that should be, holy crap, how are they going to do 8 people? And they're like, that's how.
Well, I think when they do this show, they know that they can't. There's so many characters that it's not really about the quantity of time, it's the quality of time that whenever you're with a character, because it's really easy to make characters feel like they're disserviced.
Yeah.
When you have this big of a cast to deal with, but yet they know how to still make impactful moments, and that's the beautiful part about the dialogue writing, is that they know how to make these moments count so much for the. It's like I'd love to kind of see someone do the math on
how much screen time anyone has.
Exactly. Like, how many minutes does Wolverine actually have in the runtime
like
of the 10
9
episodes? Like, it's really not a lot when you think about it, but it feels more substantial than you might initially perceive it to be, you know?
And they snuck in a suit up moment with the old costumes that felt classic and so special. Like, his brown suit on camera made me so happy.
He wore brown.
He wore his brown pants.
Yeah.
And also, like, the rogue villain suit I've mentioned, but I really think it's important to look at why they suited up. You've got a character dressing like their villainous self joining Magneto, and you've got all these characters dressing as their Xavier studenty, like goody two-shoes selves. Like, Marvel Girl is a cheesy 60s costume, but they're showing their allegiance to Xavier, and then Xavier goes and does that shit, and then Cyclops takes him out.
Yeah,
like, I think we're getting a Cyclops is right moment at the end. I think the season finale is going to be Cyclops was right moment.
I feel like you're more correct about that than ever, especially with seeing how they have these opposing point of views, and then that's a great point about the visual narrative here with the costumes, because Rogue has that line of, if you treated us like people instead of just like students, you might see some of these things. And a big part of the debate with Magneto and Xavier is your way is, it's not just out. I mean, he never believed in it, never thought it worked, but it's like so outdated by this point because he's not keeping up with what's currently happening.
Right.
He hasn't been privy to the experiences of this. So Magneto really believes that these old ways of yours are just not going to work. I even tried it. I tried walking in that path. Didn't work.
Yeah, within a week, Genosha happened.
Yeah.
Like, he's lived it, and nope.
So to go to the old costumes, to even cement that more, I think is really strong storytelling.
And then obviously him going to his old costume kicks the episode off.
Yeah.
We left him in a banana hammock. He was like free balling in his undies, just living.
Yeah.
And now that was a moment.
I think this is one of the best Disney Plus shows that Marvel has ever done. I feel like it's personally to me, I think this season, if they stick the landing on the season, I feel like it could be the strongest season out of the X-Men animated series as a whole. You know,
I think that if they stick the landing, this goes right next to Loki as my favorite Marvel show. And if they stick the landing, this will be right there with Batman the Animated Series as my favorite animated adaptation.
It's so gripping. It goes
so gripping.
It goes past like animation in that way where you're so invested in character. Because
Loki's live action, and I'm like, they're my show.
Yeah, I understand how there can be a divide with animation. There's people who have a hard time getting invested in animation because you can be so aware of animation that there's this sense of non-reality that when you're watching it. But for me, I'm like, what? And I kind of had some of that disassociation when I was watching the original animated series, but I don't really get that when I watch this show. I'm so invested in the characters that they really feel like people to me. I feel
they
like they really
shoot it like a movie.
Humanity. Yeah,
we talked about the cinematography a couple times.
Yeah.
Like Jean Grey moving and the way they use the slide and they change the camera angle. Like, it's shot like a film. It's animated like it's shot like a film.
So grand.
It's. What do you think? Finale. What do you think?
I think your Cyclops is right moment is very true, because the main thing I really appreciate about this show is the boldness that they're doing with a revival season. You know, first episode was really nostalgia heavy, and the second episode showed me they're going to really do something different with this show.
And then it's just kept going.
And they've kept going. They've killed off Gambit. They have this adamantium moment.
Dead?
Yeah, he stayed dead this whole time. I've been convinced he's going to come back. And Boy DeMayo's been online saying, like, no, he's really dead, guy.
We wanted the wait to mean something.
Yeah, and they've really let it stick. This moment with Magneto and Wolverine at the very end, like, damn, that is a bold maneuver, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool to challenge your audience the way they've been challenging them in a way that also seems like the audience, for the most part, is pretty receptive.
Oh, people are raving about that. Like, whoa, what just happened to me?
That's crazy to take these swings, but these swings feel so X-Men.
Yeah.
You know?
And the drama's all there and the soap opera-ness between weeks. I've been loving the conversation. One of the things I'm going to miss is like, after next week, we don't talk anymore.
I know.
Internet.
Coy and I are done.
That's it, guys. This is my last Real Reject show.
Friendship is over.
I got one more, and then in real life, if I see him, walking the other way.
Yeah.
Not only is Reject Nation over, I'm not talking to this guy.
No more funny. Well, we're going to die from the cough. Is what's going to happen.
Yeah, I actually am not going to talk to you because I'll be dead. Deader than Gambit. But I do think it's going to be a big dramatic cliffhanger because season 2's already, done.
See you trying. See that look in your eye?
You saw me literally I've got it, Greg. I've got this. Guys, I was trying not to cough the whole episode for the editor's sake, and I saw you see me break where I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's 1 in the morning.
You got to think about this episode.
Guys, it's 1 in the morning. I'm dying. Can you tell me what you think? Because I'm dying. You know what? Don't get an ear infection. It's bad for you. I think it's going to end on a cliffhanger because season 2 is already done. And I think Cyclops is right is going to be a thing. I think Wolverine going on a walkabout is going to be a thing. And I think one more death.
I really hope they do some type. And I think that's why Loki stuck with us for so long because it didn't end on a heroic note.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to be said for that because
look at the times. I feel like the times are good. If we're living in Empire, man. Like Empire Strikes Back is happening.
Like She-Hulk made fun of. That's right. I'm referencing She-Hulk. She-Hulk made fun of the typical Disney Plus ending, which is and all hope is lost. They all come together in big heroic ending, and they wrap everything up, and that often leaves people underwhelmed.
Yeah.
And the fact that they do have season 2 greenlit or already written, that does speak to the fact that perhaps they might actually end on a rather morbid note, which is the way you keep people hooked to want to come back for season 2.
And Marvel wants 3, 4, and 5. They're talking about greenlighting a bevy after. So keep them coming.
The movies bar for X-Men
is so much higher.
No, that bar is high now, man.
Because they left off the movies with New Mutants and Dark Phoenix. And now
they did not have a really high bar.
Yeah, guys, you just got to come back and be good.
Yeah. Oh, this is amazing.
Now they got to come back and be excellent because they're coming off of Deadpool and Wolverine, which looks great. And they got to be excellent.
Well, guys, what did you think about this episode? How do you think the finale is going to go down? I know. It's so sad.
I wonder if you're going to have bone claws. I've never liked the bone claws, but I might do bone claws. Thunk.
Bone
what does that even sound
gross. Like? It's the one part of X-Men Origins Wolverine I'll give them credit for.
How gross it was?
It's gross it was, and when Sabretooth breaks his claws.
The opening is great of that movie, and then it's just
the montage.
Just falls apart.
But the bone claws when Sabretooth breaks them, so it's like, I can feel it.
To this day, I remember that sound. That's a good point. But it always, to me, Wolverine is a character who got turned into a weapon. Like, if you think of the character, he's got healing. Like, he's not a weapon. The idea of them turning, they're manipulating nature. That's the whole idea of Weapon X, is they're distorting nature, the natural evolution of man, and they're turning something that heals into a weapon. I always saw Wolverine as, the samurai element of him is he's like a noble warrior. He wouldn't have become a weapon if not for that thing. So it wouldn't make sense that a healing person would have bone claws for no reason, but it would make sense if you have something that heals, you cover them in metal, be like, what if we throw some knives in there? The addition of claws makes more sense than nothing else about him says I got these weird claws.
Yeah.
So I always thought metal made more sense because that shows the nefariousness further. It shows Weapon X is willing to abuse this man to the point of even adding this violence and then warping his brain and making him aggressive and all those things. And the default clause is I don't know. Why would you do that? So yeah, that's my psychological breakdown of why he doesn't have bone claws in my canon. We'll see if he does in the show.
I can't wait for that show, man. I've convinced myself I'm going to do it.
6 days, 23 hours.
I can't wait.
Now, I remember my Wolverine episode of Coy's Comic Corner where I said they should bring the live action as a show.
Yeah.
Do it long form, have me on a walkabout.
That'd be cool.
Make it happen. Watch Coy's Comic Corner.
Make it happen, guys. Leave a like on this video. Hard at work on a really long Coy's Comic Corner for ranking the X-Men movies. Really long. Take that one. And hopefully we'll get it to you next week before everyone is like, we're moving on from X-Men.
What's an X-Men?
What's X-Men? I'm done.
It's Wednesday. I'm done with X-Men.
I'm done with X-Men. Deadpool, Wolverine, Marvel released another trailer for something else now.
Give me shiny things.
Because that's what they do.
Is Cap 4 out yet?
On.
Is it out yet? I'm done with Marvel. MCU.
No, in Marvel. They'll release Captain America 4 trailer Thursday.
Oh, they might actually.
Give them something to look forward to now.
Even the Semicon footage, they might literally be don't forget. You love us. Here's more.
Don't give us time to celebrate.
Stay on it. Tune in to find out.
See you guys.
Bye.